NASA has launched an investigation to find out what went wrong during a standard mission to the International Space Station. The rocket exploded seconds after liftoff. No one was aboard. Hot lava is threatening homes on Hawaii's Big Island. Residents are being forced to leave as the lava advances.
Produced. And from the Hartford Whalers.
And hockey legend Gordie Howe suffers a serious stroke. His daughter says he's tough and not giving up.
And so did Gordie.
Hi, and welcome to Humber News. I'm Travis Pereira, coming to you from our newsroom here at Humber College North Campus. An investigation is underway into the explosion of a supply rocket in Virginia. It's the first accident since NASA decided to privatize the delivery of cargo to the International Space Station.
2, 1.
The rocket flew for 11 seconds before bursting into flames. As you can hear from the control room, everything was under control and going according to plan. Then,
Got main engines at 108%.
Avionics power nominal.
And launch team, be advised, stay at your consoles.
an official with Orbital Science says the explosion caused more than $200 million in lost equipment, supplies, and experiments. One of the experiments came from students at an elementary school in British Columbia. The students had to fundraise about $25,000 to put the project on board. Just hours after the rocket exploded, Russia launched a supply rocket of its own. The rocket is loaded with food, fuel, and supplies for the astronauts on board the International Space Station that is currently home to 6 astronauts, 3 Russians, 2 Americans, and 1 European. It's expected the rocket will dock at the station later today.
Bound on a fast track to the International Space Station.
NHL legend Gordie Howe has suffered a serious stroke at the age of 86. Howe was in Texas visiting his daughter at the time. Howe's daughter says he lost use of most of his right side. Known as Mr. Hockey, Howe led the Detroit Red Wings to 4 Stanley Cups, won the Hart Trophy as the MVP of the league 6 times, and claimed the Art Ross Trophy as the league's top scorer 6 times. Authorities are urging residents of a Hawaiian town to evacuate their homes. Molten lava from the erupted Kilauea volcano has been creeping slowly towards the town of Pahoa. The volcano erupted in June and has been inching towards several communities. Residents in the projected path of the lava have been advised to leave. The Hawaii's Big Island has seen more than 180 homes destroyed by volcanoes between 1983 and 1990. A landslide in southwest China has triggered a rescue mission for 9 miners buried beneath the rubble. Chinese state media says the miners became trapped when falling rocks and mud engulfed the worksite without warning. They say the landslide was set off by days of torrential rainfall, and the poor weather conditions have hindered rescue efforts thus far. A team of over 400 people and 10 extractors are on site, but there have been no signs of survivors yet. Millions of dollars worth of drugs have been destroyed in Afghanistan. Over 20 tons of illegal drugs were set on fire by Afghan counter-narcotic authorities. The drugs included opium, hashish, and chemicals used to turn opium into heroin. Afghanistan is the world's largest supplier of opium, providing almost 90% of the global stock. Zambia has an interim president after former President Michael Sawa died Tuesday. Scott is a Cambridge-educated economist who was Sawa's vice president. He'll serve until election is held in 3 months. Citizenship rules block him from running in the coming election. Scott is Africa's first white head of state since F.W. de Klerk. He lost to Nelson Mandela in the 1994 South African election that ended apartheid 20 years ago. People in Moscow are getting a rare treat, a woolly mammoth on display at the Russian Geographical Society. Yuka is 3 meters long, weighs 5 tons, and is estimated to have been about 10 years old when she died. The 39,000-year-old specimen was first discovered in Russia's Arctic region in 2010. Yuka is kept in a special glass cage in freezing temperatures, similar to the permafrost climate where her body was found. She's already visited Japan and Taiwan as part of a world tour. Do you have a tough time dealing with tax notices? You're not alone. A study says that letters from the Canada Revenue Agency are a bunch of gobbledygook. The New York tax agency that conducted the study says the letters are poorly organized, confusing, and unprofessional, making them hard to understand. In fact, the report says that they are so confusing, recipients are not sure whether they owe money or not. When we come back, we'll tell you what's happening in the world of sports, and Adriana will have your 3-day forecast.
No problems concerning weather today. It's mostly sunny with a high of 11 and an overnight of 4. We'll have your 3-day forecast after the break.
The Leafs shut out the Sabres, Raptors kick off their 20th season, and the World Series ends tonight. We'll have all your sports after the break. But first, Lego lovers and moviegoers unite. A 15-year-old from Scotland has created a stop-motion video featuring classic movies, all from Lego. Classics like Singin' in the Rain, Breakfast at Tiffany's, Wayne's World, Wizard of Oz, and The Sound of Music are all part of the fun.